That was a picture.
Good morning and welcome to AMNE News. I hope you all are enjoying your complimentary food. Now, our first interviewee, Lucy Proctor. I have a couple questions for you. How are you today?
I'm pretty good today. I'm pretty good.
That's good.
Hold it up.
Okay, now, I realized that you were not born while your father's death occurred. And I just want to know, how did it feel to grow up without a father?
I don't like to talk about it because, you know, all my friends, they just go to all these father-daughter things and I just can't deal with it. I just really wish I had a father. I miss him so much.
Okay. I'm really sorry to hear that. I feel your pain and I hope you can move on. How did your mother cope with being single mom of 4 kids?
It was really hard for her, okay? I like anyone in the world understands how hard it is to be a single mom. She has to raise all these children and work and cook and clean. It's just so terrible. And there was just a failure of agriculture. And it was just really tough for my family. We almost died. And I think my mom did a very good job of coping with my father's death and taking his place.
Okay. Do you think that your brothers took on the role of being the men of the house and being a father figure to you?
My brothers are the bravest men I've ever seen to take on that role at such a young age. I'm so proud of them. Even though I had the burden of growing up without a father, they made it okay.
Okay. And do you have any resentment towards your brothers because they were able to meet your father?
I don't like to talk about it. They always talk about my dad and how he was such a great father and how he was a really great cook and he hunted all the best food and my mother's just a terrible hunter and I'm so mad at them because they got to meet him. It's just terrible. This is just a terrible situation and it's very hard. I need some therapy.
Okay, thank you, Lucy. And I'm really sorry to hear about your father. Reverend Hale, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about the Salem witch trials.
Okay.
Do you feel responsible for the 19 hangings during the Salem witch trials?
You know, I try to tell
You hung my father!
I try to tell myself that it's all gonna be okay, but really, I know that this was semi my fault. Even though I didn't want to, I did sign death certificates, and I tried to convince your father. I really tried really hard, so you shouldn't blame me for that one, but the ones before that were definitely partly my fault, and I just don't know how to deal with it.
Okay, and do you feel sympathy for that?
Yes, I feel really bad. It tears me apart.
What would you have changed about your actions?
That's a toughie. I think that I would have chosen to not kill them. I wouldn't have killed them for sure. I wish that I would have stood up for what I believed in more, like, earlier, before this got way out of hand.
Okay, and when did you decide that the girls were lying and that the accused were innocent?
Well, pretty much when Abigail started accusing even more people and more people kept dying and more people kept saying that they were innocent and that they weren't part of it. And then I kind of realized that they were the ones behind all of it.
Okay. How have you dealt with this in the last 20 years?
I don't even know. It's just been so hard. I don't really know how I've been doing. It's just all my fault, and I just should have done more, and I've just kind of been getting through this by trying not to think about it, even though I just think about it every single day. It's just I just don't know what to do. It's hard.
Thank you, Reverend Hale. Thank you for your time. Danforth, how are you tonight? Today.
I'm good.
Okay. I have a couple questions for you that I would like you to answer. Why did you continuously believe Abigail and all the other girls?
What did you say?
Why did you continuously believe Abigail and the other girls?
Because I had no reason to doubt them. They were so believable, always crying and crying.
So you believed them because they were crying, but you wouldn't believe the other innocent people when they cried and begged for their lives.
If anyone was gonna die, of course they were gonna cry. Like, if I was gonna die right now, I'd cry.
Okay. What is your strongest emotion when looking back on the trials?
Anger.
And why is that?
What? What?
And why is that?
Because I am mad at myself for becoming what I am today and not believing the people that were innocent. I'm mad that I was dumb. I was dumb back then. I'm mad that I was dumb.
Okay.
I'm mad.
What is your profession? Did you resign from the court system?
I'm currently unemployed. I don't have a job. I'm unemployed.
And what do you do in your time?
I do what I'm doing right now.
So you were very high in the court, and now you are unemployed. Do you think it's because of you believing the girls who are lying and killing innocent people?
What?
Do you think the reason that you're unemployed is because you believed girls that were lying and killed innocent people?
I'm unemployed. Go for my drink.
Okay.
I need a new one.
I
need a new one. I'm unemployed because I believe those girls. They ruined me. I ruined myself by ruining them. I ruined it.
Okay, and one last question. How have you dealt with being semi-responsible for the hanging of 19 people?
What?
How have you dealt with being semi-responsible for the hanging of 19 people?
I'm ashamed to say that I have turned to insufficient drinking. I turned to liquids, alcoholic beverages to deal with these trials, to deal with what I did, to deal with the trials of the Salem murder trial. I turned to drinking. I turned to drinking.
Okay. Thank you, Danforth. Thank you for your time. And last but not least, Abigail, the starter and the one that most think are responsible for these trials. How are you today?
Great.
Okay, I have a couple questions for you also.
These are really good. Thanks for them.
You're welcome. What have you done with your life since these witch trials?
Well, I'm a people pleaser, and so I just try to please the people with whatever ways that they want.
Okay, and if you could go back in time, would you have made the same mistakes?
I
didn't make any mistakes, except that John Proctor died.
So you don't think that lying and making innocent people go to jail and get hung was not a mistake?
No, because I didn't get in trouble for whatever I did, which I didn't do anything. But they, I guess it was just their time to die.
Okay. How did the 19 deaths affect 14 deaths affect your conscience?
I don't think I have a conscience. Well, I just don't feel anything. These are really good, by the way. Thanks for them.
You're welcome. Okay, and last but not least, how did the rejection of John Proctor make
You
you
didn't
feel?
reject me! I don't like to talk about it. You whore! No! You killed my father! Whore! No!
Okay.
What is all that about?
Well, thank you, Lucy Proctor, Reverend Hale, Abigail, and Zanforth for joining me today on AMME News.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the drink.
Have a nice night, everyone.